Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am your host, Patricia Rivera Wolfson, and I am a life strategist, an energy practitioner, and a intuitive coach. And I like to say that just like that because it's fun. Why not? Um, what does that mean? I don't know. You tell me. We can figure it out together in our session. Uh, it's been, I don't know what to tell you guys. The energy has been just wild. It's like a stop start kind of day. I'm feeling a little discombobulated and delayed, but that's okay. If you're feeling that way too, that's why we do this together. We are going to do our little morning ritual, take some deep breaths, get into our bodies, and then pull some cards and find out how exactly can we face the things that we're avoiding. So, in yesterday's show, I talked to you about the daily ABCs, which is my little life hack or energy hack to, basically take care of that mind, body, spirit piece, like to always pay attention to those three elements, right? The mind, which is always wrapped up in thought and responsibilities and is usually overwhelmed and stressed, and is what can trigger a lot of your stress responses, is like what's going on in your mind. And so the A of the daily ABCs is taking care of your mind. It is doing an action that you've been avoiding. And once you take one action or several actions that you've been avoiding, you are alleviating some of the stress in your brain, making space and room to think more clearly, and also to build that confidence in being able to achieve what you want, because you're like checking things off your list, you're accomplishing things, you're feeling less stressed. So it certainly helps move things along. And the B of the ABCs is your body, right? Because of course we have to take care of our bodies. This is the vessel through which we work here on this planet, on this physical plane. And so everything has to go through our body. So our mind has to be sort of clear and organized, and then our body needs to be able to take the action that our mind is telling us to take, right? And of course, that's the mind, body, and the spirit aspect is the C in the ABCs, and that is creativity, right? Doing something creative, addressing your spiritual expression. Oh, mouth is not awake yet today. Okay. So that was the daily ABCs. If you want to know more about that, then go ahead and click on yesterday's episode to get the details of the daily ABCs and your little energy hack. But today, I want to get the cards help. Okay. So I want to call spirit in to get some support on how exactly to address those actions that you've been avoiding, because we feel resistance, right? And that resistance is really hard to just ignore, right? And so, how I sometimes help people with the resistance is, number one, you have to just accept that the resistance exists, right? And just be like, okay, I'm resistant. And for some reason, I can't do this. But we don't want the resistance to always stay. So then we need to figure out ways to potentially get to the resistance a different way, or find a different solution that we don't feel as resistant to, right? And for each individual situation, we can do that. We can sit down and we can figure out what's the least resistant action that you can take that may help you take action on this thing you've been avoiding. There's also what feels the safest. What is the safest action that you can take, right? What feels safest? What's one tiny, tiny, tiny action? Maybe it's something that, like, the action that you need to take is really big, but maybe you can start taking like a micro actions and just moving in that direction. So that's something that you need to sort of pause and ask yourself. But what I want is, I want to ask spirit about how to really face those things that we're resistant to, how to embody the action that we need to take to become the person we need to become. Um, so we will do that after we do our little warm up. So join me right now in lighting a candle to begin our little sacred ritual. We're going to do 3 deep breaths together. First, we light the candle. Okay. This one's a good one. What's this? What's the scent? I don't know what the scent is for this one. Tea tree tingle. I guess it's tea tree. Okay. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths, and this is how I want you to do them. I want you to breathe in, and as you're breathing in, I want you to just imagine all of the love, light, and life force energy being pulled into your body. I want you to hold for 5 seconds, and while you're holding, I want you to imagine all of that beautiful, powerful, life-giving energy just dissolving and dissipating any of the stuck or stagnant energy in your body. And then as you exhale, imagine you releasing all of the things that don't serve you, all of that stuck and stagnant energy that you dissolved and loosened up with the light. Then just release it and ask Mother Nature to please transmute it into something powerful and useful for nature. Okay, so here we go. 3 deep breaths. The first one right now. And hold. And release. Beautiful. All right, one more deep breath. Let's go. Deep breath in and hold and release. Okay, and one last deep breath. Let's make it count. Okay, here we go. And hold and release. Okay, beautiful. That feels good. I hope that feels good to you. And if you're feeling a little bit more connected to your body, that's great. If not, maybe do a few more deep breaths. And now we do some stretching, which can also help you become connected. And as you're stretching, I want you to breathe into wherever you are feeling some pain or tension. Okay. And then breathe it out. Just doing some stretching, all right, to like loosen up those parts of our body, to wake up the body. We need a little wake up. Oh, I know I need a wake up. Okay, and we shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Beautiful. Turn off my phone so it does not ring. Okay, here we go. All right, so now that we've done our little stretching and our breathing, I am going to say my prayer, inviting the spiritual support team I'm going to invite our spiritual support team. I call in for my people and your people and all the people or spirits that are willing to support us through this time. And you can take this time to sit in silence or call on your spiritual support team in whatever way feels connected to you based on your spiritual beliefs. Okay, so here we go. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me set an intention that is in alignment with my highest good for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you for showing me the signs and synchronicities and messages in nature, music, movies, through the cards that I pull and the words that people say today and always. I appreciate you, I serve you, and I'm grateful for any wisdom that you may have for me or the collective on this day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Okay, so as you sit with your intention right now or with your GPS word, hello, Bean. Nice to see you here. Uh, Here we go. Sorry, I lost my thought. So, yes, say hi if you're in the chat. Welcome to anybody who's watching. Let me know where you're watching from. Okay, so I'm going to remind you to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have not yet, go to @MeFirstTV and then ding the little notification bell to make sure that you're getting notifications for when I go live. And don't forget that I still have a free guide, the Me First Guide to Transformation. The link is in the description. And of course, if you'd like a personal reading or a strategy session or even couples readings, my calendar is open and I am taking appointments right now. So please go ahead. The link is in the description. All right, so let's begin. So today we are going to find out, what does the universe have to tell us about getting it done, right? Facing the tasks that we avoid. How do we release the resistance? I don't know. So I'm going to pull the tarot cards, because as you guys know, I've been playing with tarot cards recently and I really like that. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards, and then I'm going to pull some oracle cards to do a little bit of clarification, just in case there's any confusion as to what it is that we need to know, okay? So feel free to say hi if you're hanging around. But how do we really face the things that we fear, right? Because that's really what it is. That resistance is there to protect us. The resistance is like that space that we put. It's a wall that we put between the things that we want because of fear, because we think we can't accomplish it, because we think we don't have the talent or the smarts or the drive, because we think it can't be accomplished, because nobody in our family has accomplished it, because it requires us to be courageous, because it requires us to stretch what's comfortable for us, right? It requires us to say something or do something that we haven't done before. It requires us to step into a version of ourselves that still feels maybe distant, right? And so that is why we resist doing the things that we know are good for us, doing the things and taking the actions that in our hearts we know are actions that are going to serve our highest good, but they're scary. And instead of beating yourself up for being scared to take these actions, or instead of feeling guilt or shame for having the resistance to doing the actions that you believe in your heart are going to help you in your life, well, I want to encourage you to just, with kindness and compassion, just find the easiest way to release that resistance, or try and choose the simplest, easiest, smallest, and safest action that will get you moving in the right direction. Okay, that is what I usually recommend to my clients. But in the meantime, I'm going to pull the cards and see what the cards have to say. So okay, we'll call in our ancestors and spirit guides and, all of our spiritual support team to give us some guidance. How do we face this, right? How do we face, maybe we'll do a little Celtic cross. I think we did that before on Wednesday, right? Last week? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Do a little Celtic cross and get a little insight, okay? Get a little insight. All right. So right away, we have the Page of Swords, right? Page of Swords, swords being an idea, a thought, information, right? New information, something fresh, something, like starting new, right? This is a new way to approach things, right? And I really like that, right? So how can you release the resistance and take action on the things that you have been avoiding? Well, you got to look at it from a new perspective. You have to look at it from a new angle, have a new idea, a new way of approaching it, okay? But what's the challenge? What's the challenge with that? What's the challenge with looking at it in a new direction? Well, you have the Five of Discs, right? And the Five of Pentacles is that five, right? Five is the number of change, right? So it's a little bit of that fear of change. So your challenge is that you may fear change, but also the Five of Discs, the Five of Pentacles, which is in the regular tarot decks, but this in this tarot deck that I'm using, the Luna Soul Tarot deck, which I absolutely love, they use the word discs. And so with discs, slash pentacles, right? There's a little bit of the burden, right? And also feeling like you're missing out, right? The five of pentacles is a little bit about like feeling like you know, that maybe you have it harder than other people seem to have it a little bit easier, right? And so that may be part of your resistance. Part of the resistance is like, you know, I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I'm not quite getting it. I feel like um, everyone else has it a little bit easier. Okay, let's go on. So, what's underneath the surface, right? What is underneath the surface of all that? So, like, what in your heart is really the resistance, right? And look at this, the King of Swords. Oh, King of Swords. Now, when I see the King of Swords, he's the one that's like, he cuts out all the fat, right? All of the excess, all of the things that you don't need. The King of Swords has no time for the extras, for the fluff, for the BS, right? And so underneath, underneath all of that is you really want to get down to brass tacks, right? You want to get down to business. You want to do what needs to be done to get you exactly where you need to go. And there's a part of you that's ready, that's just like, I just want to get rid of everything else and just focus, right? Laser focus on this step, on this new adventure, or on this action that I need to take, right? The King of Swords, he's ready. He's ready to take action, right? But probably some part of you is resisting, right? And what could that be? Well, here we go. This is what you've come from, the 10 of Swords, right? So the King of Swords is very certain and going like, yes, I'm ready to cut things out. I don't need anything extra, just the things that I need. But you may be hesitant because those swords hurt. Cutting things out, removing things from your life, setting boundaries, it can hurt, right? It can cause you great pain to put up boundaries and disconnect yourself from relationships or habits that haven't been serving you, right? And you may know that they're not serving you, but they have served you for so long. They have been there as a security blanket, as a you know, as a habit that you have become comfortable with, regardless of whether or not you are not happy with where your life is, or that there are certain relationships or situations that you are not, you know, feeling, right? And you're kind of sick of, but there's a comfort in knowing that those relationships exist and knowing how to take care of them, or knowing, you know, sort of that repetitive, even things that are upsetting, relationships that are complicated. Sometimes just knowing what actions to take, knowing what the result is going to be, there is safety and comfort in that. Even if the result is negative, or if the result is not what you want, it's sort of that feeling of, well, at least I know what I'm getting. Because if I do it a different way, or if I meet somebody else, or if I put myself in a new job or a new situation, I don't know what that negative, you know, result is going to be. I'd much rather just deal with the shit I know than put myself in a whole new pile of shit that may be more than I can handle, right? So that's a little bit where that resistance comes from. It's from all the other times you failed, all the other times you had bad experiences, all the other times that you didn't take action, or maybe that you did take action and regretted it. That is what weighs us down and what keeps us, right? All of those swords are keeping you weighed down and preventing you from moving forward and taking action. You need to release them. All right, so here we go. Next. Okay, so this is like the thing that you're ready for this. You're ready to make a move, right? This is the thing that is at the top of your mind. This is your vision for the future. Ace of discs, right? So the ace, which is new, discs is pentacles, right? So it's a new idea, a new venture, a new opportunity, right? This is a new opportunity. So you are moving forward, taking on, you know, the action you've been avoiding. And one of the ways that you can address it is by looking at it as a new opportunity to move forward. Or like I said, if you are to shift your perspective and look at things from a different perspective, in a different way, you can find a whole new opportunity lurking where you may not have seen it before. And that's really what happens a lot, is that we have these things that we are avoiding, and we shut ourselves off because of our fear, because of how strongly we avoid it. But then once we start opening ourselves up to the possibilities and start taking little actions, we suddenly see the opportunities before us, and opportunities we may not have seen until we took the action, right? So this is hopefully going to inspire you to start moving forward, to take that action, because there is new life, new possibilities just waiting for you to take advantage of when you release that resistance, when you take that action that you've been avoiding. All right. And oh, look at this. Okay. So this is a little glimpse into your future. The magician, right? The magician, that's the, look at that. That's the first card, number one, right? And what does the magician do? The magician is the manifester, right? The magician takes the ideas, right? This is the combination of mind, body, spirit, all in unison, all resonating together with one singular focus, right? And when you are able to get yourself to a place where your mind and your body and your spirit are all moving forward with the same idea, well, then that's when magic is possible and you begin to manifest your future, right? Because you are taking the inspiration, right? The inspiration from your mind, the inspiration from your creativity, you are blending all of that together and you are using your body as the vessel to make it happen, right? And when you are able to combine that mind, body, and spirit, right, moving forward, well, then you're going to be unstoppable. So let's see what happens next. The King of Wands. All right, so the King of Wands, the king is just dominates that suit, right? So the wands is about passion, it's about creativity. And of course, if you allow yourself to connect, right? So if you're doing your daily ABCs, right, and you are doing the actions you've been avoiding, connecting with your body, keeping that flow, and using your creativity, allowing yourself to really see how all three elements can come together and bring things to life, right? And you start manifesting, well, then the King of Wands is there with a passionate new idea, a passionate new direction, moving forward, right? Okay, I'm going to keep going. All right, so the second card, this is your environment, right? The outside forces. Here we have the Hierophant, okay? The Hierophant is also a card that is connected to Taurus, and Taurus is all about earthly things, right? And of course, now I want you to look at this. So the magician, right, is the combination of using all of the elements, all of your power, and really bringing it all together, combining it together, right? And that alchemical reaction manifests the thing that you want, right? But what do you need first? First, you need that idea, that inspiration, that passion, right? So the king moves forward. This is what we're doing. This is how I'm moving forward. I am going to go after this, right? So you pick the thing that you want to do, the thing that is going to bring you the most impact, the thing that is going to bring you the most connection, right? That's going to connect you to your GPS word the most. You pick the action that is going to get you closest to what you want. And then once you've chosen what you're going to focus on, which passion you're going to pursue, then the Hierophant is all about creating the structure to make it happen, right? Bean, you're a Taurus. Nice, nice. So that this is for you, right? Because Tauruses make things happen in the real world. Tauruses are all about earthly things, bringing the money, bringing the beauty, right? Bringing it all manifest into the real world. Tauruses are earthly, beautiful beings, right? And we need to take inspiration from those Tauruses. One of my boys is a Taurus, so I know how amazing they are, right? And so you take that inspiration and then you create the structure, you create the plan, and you take the action that is going to make it come true and bring it to life, right? Bring the passion, bring the plan. Okay, I don't even know what's next. What's next? Okay, so the next card is like your hopes and fears, right? So in hopes and fears, we have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is victory, right? The Six of Wands is about getting validation, right? It's like walking in the parade and getting people cheering you on and saying, oh my God, you're amazing, you did it, right? So that is both our fear and our hope. Like we hope that we're able to achieve it, and we may be afraid that we can't, right? But this is on the path. Sorry, I just dropped one of the cards. So this is on the path, right? And it's a very clear way to the path where the magician is like, okay, we're bringing all the elements together. Okay. The King of Wands says, all right, I'm going to bring all the elements and we're going to focus on this thing, this beautiful passion that I have had in my heart my whole life. And then I'm going to, so, and that's the fire, right? The fire. And then you bring the earth energy, which is, okay, let's make it real. I have this passion. I have this fire in me. I want to make it happen. How can I make it happen? I'm going to create the structure. Here are the steps. Here are the actions. Here are the people I need to speak to. Here's what I need to get done. And then after that, I am going to anticipate the victory, because when you work towards your dreams, no matter what, you will receive validation. You may not receive success or validation from others, but you need to acknowledge that when you are doing the things that you need to do, you will see results. You will see, if nothing else, you will see the next thing on your path, and you will see the next evolution of your journey. Okay. And so, what is the final card in this? Oh, I don't like this final card, but we'll pull a clarification. Okay. So, where does that take you? The Nine of Wands. And we had this card a couple days ago, right? And the Nine of Wands, right? Okay. Now, don't forget, we started with the King of Wands, which is this fiery passion. All right. With this one idea. Okay. But Nine of Wands is exhaustion, right? And it's like, I am doing everything. I'm trying to make everything come true. And so we need to be cautious and careful that we are not overdoing it or overextending ourselves, right? Keep yourself focused on what is important, accomplishing your goals one step at a time, taking actions where you need to, right? And rest. Rest when you need to. Because look at this. You see, they seem a little kind of like, look at the guy. He looks like a little worn, and he's got his boundaries up. He's like, I've got all my things and I've been working really hard, and he doesn't want to stop. He wants to keep going, but he's tired and resting. And you may have to do that as well along this journey, right? And even in this journey of resistance, right? Sometimes we feel like we need to get rid of all of our resistance at once and just do everything at once. But then what ends up happening is we end up in this loop that eventually creates burnout, right? And so we don't want to repeat old mistakes or keep old patterns or old habits that are not serving us. The goal is not to go, 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 do until you collapse, right? The goal is to be able to like bring yourself into a situation where you can move forward and take action when you need to take action. And then you can acknowledge the time when it's time to rest, right? Just like the ocean, there's high tide and low tide. There's a time where you are like all in and a time where you need to just receive, right? And you just need to wait. And that's a little bit about what I feel here is also that in facing those things that we are avoiding, right? In taking actions, sometimes we can hesitate because we're like, well, if I start this, then it's going to be this snowball and I won't be able to catch up. I won't be able to get it all done. I won't be able to keep up. Right. And I completely understand how it's so easy to get overwhelmed and think, well, if I continue down this road and continue, achieving my dreams, there's maybe a little fear that it's going to be too much for you to handle, too much responsibility. And then how do you keep it up? Right. It's easy to figure out how to navigate your life when nobody's paying attention or when you're just kind of like doing your thing. But what if whatever you're doing gains incredible attention? What if you need to perform or produce your product or your service at a high level, right? That may be something that scares you. It may be something that stops you. And so I want you to understand that when you are practicing for the future, I want you to practice embodying right now what you want that future to look like, right? So if you're resisting taking certain action, ask yourself, how can I take this action in a way that feels safe and comfortable for me, that will give me time to adjust or calibrate, right? And that will give me time to get used to even more, that will get me used to expanding, that will get me used to the next level that may be coming down the pipe for me. All right, so I want to do an oracle card or a couple of oracle cards and just let's just get some clarification. Okay. So right now, let's get clarification on that nine of wands since it seemed a little, I don't know, intense. The card that came out was number 48, poised. All right. So what the nine of wands is telling us is to remain poised. I don't know. Let's see. 48, being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best, confidence. You can be assured that you're ready for anything right now. You know what you need to do. Your skills are sharp. You've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, and you sense a new phase of your life about to begin. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. Well, that's interesting because that's the clarification for the nine of wands. And what that tells me is the clarification that I get from this is that you do everything you need to do, and then you will be prepared. And then you can wait for the opportunity to present itself. In fact, I think about this Ace of Discs as an opportunity that may present itself, right? And this, the nine of wands, represents all of your ideas and passions and things that you have worked towards, that you've worked for yourself. And then this person, you see, they're just kind of sitting there and waiting. They have everything. They've taken care of all the things. They've checked it all off their list. And now they're just patiently waiting. And I think that that is a really good way to look at this, right? Whereas we are constantly moving forward and we may have certain expectations. We may think, I'm expecting this to turn out for me in a certain way because this is what I've done. But we don't know God's plan. We don't know the grand plan. And so you just need to stay focused on the things that you want to do, taking actions on the things that you're avoiding that you know are good for you, and then set up the boundaries that you need to set up for yourself to protect yourself and your ideas, right? To protect yourself and your mission, and then just be ready for the universe to bring you the opportunities or the situations that then you will be able to respond to differently because you've done all the work, right? Because you've already taken the action. And if you've already done it, right, it's one of those things where, we talk about luck, right? And luck, as I heard it from my university professor, my radio professor would say, luck is preparedness plus opportunity, right? So luck is easy, right? People can say, oh, that guy's lucky, right? But you can be considered lucky if an opportunity presents itself and then you are prepared to take advantage of that opportunity. If you can jump in and say, I'm in, I've got it, I can do this, right? Because if you're not ready for the opportunities that come, then it may feel like you're unlucky, right? But you're not unlucky. You just need to practice getting ready, right? And just like Abraham Hicks says, right, you got to get ready to be ready. Get ready to bring in the abundance. Get ready for it to show up for you. And you have to step up and take the steps and the actions that are your responsibility, right? Like you do your part and then trust that the universe will do its part. I will spend it a lot. Oh, Bean, thank you. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Thanks. Okay, what else? We're going to pull one more. What is another advice card? Because I have to wrap it up. Because it's just that kind of day. I'm going to wrap it up today, but I'm going to pull one more piece of advice. So what's one piece of advice that we can give to the audience about facing their fears and taking actions on the things that they're avoiding that they really need to do for their own evolution and for their highest and greatest selves? Okay, let's see. Here we go. Okay, 3 cards popped out. Here we go. So the first one that popped out was why, right? So what that says to me is figure out your why. What is your purpose for taking these actions? Is it something you're still connected to? These actions that you need to take, do you have to take them because it's part of your responsibility as a contributing member of society? Do you need to take them because it is in your best interest to take them? Do you need to take these actions because that is what you promised yourself you would do on your mission, right? So, what is your why? What is the reason for taking these actions? And sometimes, if you really focus on that reason, you might be able to inspire yourself to take the action. You may be able to release some of that resistance because you connect with the reason, right? Like there's certain things that are scary to me, but if I have to do it for my children, for example, then I'm definitely inspired to do it more so than I would be inspired for myself, right? Because my why, as I represent, you know, my as I am a representative of my children's advocacy, or I am the advocate for my children, right? So then I might be more willing to be a participant as their advocate. I might be more willing to do things for them than I would be willing for myself, because my why is powerful when it's connected to my children. What is your why? Why is it that you want to do this? Why is it that you want to accomplish this? All right, so here's what it says: motives, driving intention, the power of knowing why. There is great power in understanding your motives right now. The oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking this question, looking for this answer, behaving this way, and most importantly, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you're clear about it, your intention then will be met with a magnet. Your intention will be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it and then act on it. This invisible why is the life force energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. I love that. Okay. Another card that popped out was round and round, number 25. And so what this tells me is, of course, we are always doing this little back and, round and round vortex, going back to the same thing, repeating the same patterns, repeating the same, thoughts and things, right? And that will continue until you make a different choice. So I want you to keep in mind that the actions that you're avoiding are the actions that are going to move you out of some of those patterns that are not serving you, right? Every action that you take, especially if you are taking an action on something that you haven't done before, that is hard for you, that's out of your comfort zone, that's causing you to do something different, the second that you put your energy towards something different, the second that you take an action that you haven't done before, you are shifting your trajectory into a different possibility, right? You are creating a new pathway. And when you are creating a new pathway, you stop going around and around and around in circles, right? You're choosing a different path. Now, we still go around and around and visit sort of the same things, but you are able to level up, go to the next level of healing, go to the next level of perspective, look at it from a different with a different perspective, so that you now know are no longer dealing with the same problem, but a deeper version of that problem, or the next evolution of that problem, which gets you closer and closer to either healing it and resolving it for you and your family or your generational wounds, or gets you closer to accomplishing what you want, which again is healing and can help contribute to the healing of your generational trauma. All right. So if you want to get yourself out of that same over and over, it's like I keep dating the same people, I keep doing the same things, I keep having the same jobs, even though it isn't the same, but the experience feels the same, then taking an action that you've been avoiding, right? Releasing that resistance, that is going to help you break that pattern, right? It's going to interrupt the patterns that have been keeping you stuck where you are right now. And finally, the last card is the number one, the Yang card. Okay. And I love the Yang card for this because it is about action, right? Because Yang is the masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen, taking action. Yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Remember, this is the magician. Okay, so the magician is acting, okay, in his yang energy because he is creating, or the magician is creating and manifesting, which is that masculine principle of action, movement, and becoming. All right. Now is the perfect time to act, for you can easily build momentum and make headway. When you want What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and is a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the shaper of your destiny now. Okay, I'm going to end it there. That's a beautiful, beautiful card to end it on. And don't forget, you have the power. Do not feel guilty. Do not feel shame. Whatever you have done up until now is just the best that you could do with the information you had, and that's okay. Practice, practice, practice. However you want to be, whatever actions you want to take, make it safe for you to move forward. And I promise you, you are going to start to see your own personal evolution. You are going to see things shift in your life in a way that you haven't seen before. Just stick to it. Trust that you can accomplish whatever you need to accomplish with a little patience and a whole lot of trust. Okay. And don't forget, you got to take action, right? You got to show up for yourself, for your dreams, for your community. Take action and stay strong. We're in this together. And if you need anything, I got you. Okay. Just reach out. We'll have a session together. We'll figure things out together. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to Me First TV on YouTube and ding that little subscription bell or notification bell so you know when I'm on. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm usually here Monday through Friday at some point in the morning, although today it went into the afternoon because such is life. All right. Have a great day. Love you all. Keep shining your light, and I'll be here.